So let's take our files and put them into Cinema 4D. We'll start with the bullet because it's easier. So we just take it, put it in Cinema 4D. Just a second, and here we just click OK. Now we will use a plugin called Drop to Floor. It's free and I'll show you what it does. You just press Drop to Floor and it basically puts the lowest point of the object at 0, like this. Now we'll move the pivot point to the origin, like this, so we can scale it down. Now I'm not exactly sure how big a bullet is, but I think it's about 2 centimeters. It should be somewhere around it, so I don't think we need to be perfectly precise. Anyway, let's scale it down and down. A little more. So I want it to be exactly 2. If I see any numbers other than perfectly round numbers, I will kill a kitten. This one right here does just collateral damage. Anyway, let's rotate this this way. And now, oh no, undo that. We have to rotate it after we put it into the lathe NURBS. Excuse me. So we put it into a lathe NURBS and we have a bullet. We probably need a little bit more subdivisions because if we in case we need to have a close-up of the bullet, so let's use like 36 perhaps. That should be probably fine. Let's name this bullet. My voice is breaking. I'm not in puberty. I don't know why this is happening. It's late in the night. Anyway, let's take this, rotate it like so. Maybe move the spline a little back so our center point of the lathe NURBS is a bit closer. Now we want to have the bullet probably editable. No, we'll do that with glass. The bullet is fine probably. So this is pretty much it. Let's save this. Call this bullet 01. Like this. Now let's create the glass. Take the glass, put it into Cinema 4D. Press OK. Oh no, I forgot one thing. I didn't delete the circle. So sorry about that. What's happening? No, wrong. Good. Let's open the bullet in Illustrator. And we just delete the circle and save this again as the glass. Save, replace, Illustrator 8, save, quit, and now let's put it again into Cinema 4D. Click OK, and we'll use Drop to Floor. Move the pivot point to 0. Scale it way down. It should be probably about 20, maybe under 20 centimeters tall. So let's make it perhaps like 17. Yeah, 17 should be fine. Let's round this up. So now we put this into a lathe NURBS as well. Call this glass. Now I did use a round glass, but after you shatter a round glass, because we need way more subdivisions, we need perhaps 34, not enough. 48. That should hopefully be enough. Maybe a little bit more, like 52 perhaps. Okay. The problem here is we've got a lot of polygons, and after we break it up into shards, we will have way more polygons, which will be slow when we preview this. Now, there are ways to go around it. If you have a round glass, it will be more difficult, but you can make the glass perhaps octagon, or what's it called when it has 6 sides? Sexagon? I don't know. So I'll just show you how to make an octagon out of the glass. So we'll duplicate it, make this one disappear, change the subdivisions to 8, rotate it by 22.5 degrees because that's too much. Is it too much? Undo. Yes, that. Oh, I'm in the pivot. 22.5 degrees because that is the half of the angle between the 8s, if that makes any sense. But if we were to use this with the perfectly sharp edges, it would just look wrong. So we could put it in a HyperNURBS, but the problem there, as you see, is it makes it round again. So we need to create extra polygons just here by the edges, so it rounds the edges but still keeps the sides flat. So we'll make it editable, throw this away, just useless mess. Go into polygon mode, press K for knife tool, select loop, and now we will go here, and at each edge we will cut on the both sides, so we have some extra polygons there, in here and in here, and the third one here and here, and the fourth one. Of course it has 8 edges, but as you can see, because we are using the loop, it cuts the opposite edge as well. So that's 8. Now we take this and put this into a HyperNURBS, and as you can see, now the edges are rounded and the sides are flat because we cut up the edges. So if too many polygons is problems for your graphics card, then this is what you can do, but we'll work forward with a round glass. So let's call this class octagon, never throw anything away, and we will put it in a group, call this trash, or not trash, hidden, make it invisible, put it in the bottom, and because I'm crazy, I will rotate it back to 0. Now, let's work on this glass. Before we break it up into shards, we need to divide it into 2 parts. One is of course, the leg and a little bit of the bottom, and then the top, which we will then break into parts. And we will do that with a Boolean object. So let's just duplicate our glass, put one in the hidden so we have a backup if anything happens. We will create a cylinder, make it way smaller, because we are working in smaller scale. So let's put this at the bottom, at the top, and a little lower, like this. Let's check if it's not too small, perhaps. Sorry, too low. Yeah, this center point needs to be above our bottom of the fillable part of glass. My English is terrible, sorry. Anyway, 36 segments is way too much, maybe 12, no, not 12, 16? No, let's use 24. We'll use 24. Make the cylinder editable. You don't need any of these tags. And now we will create a sort of a jagged edge to cut our glass into parts. So we'll go into point mode, and we'll take a point, and oh yes, and before we do that, we need to select all the points, right click and optimize. And now when we click at our point, it will work properly. So let's just move these points around, all 24 of them, in some kind of a random fashion. Maybe there is some sort of expression or something, some randomizer, but this is simpler perhaps. So let's move them around like this. We are halfway there. Just a few more. And we are done. Now that we have this cylinder, we will make a copy and we will basically invert it. So we will use that one for the bottom. So how do we do that? We go into a side view, go into point mode, choose the rectangle selection tool and uncheck select only visible elements. We will select all the top points, vertices, and move them down. And we need to have some extra space below, so just we're safe and don't cut it in the wrong way. Now we have those two cylinders. We also need to make another copy of the glass. We will go into a pool object, uncheck high quality just for now, so it doesn't take forever to create. Put one cylinder in one and a cylinder in other, and put each of the glasses. Let's see what it looks like. Is this right? Or is this wrong? This is right. So let's put this here. Let's see. Here is our bottom, and here is our top. The top we will shatter. Oh God, terrible accent. I'm telling you. The top we will shatter later. Now we will make these two editable. Maybe let's check the high quality and make it editable. And same for the top. Now we will go here, take both of these parts, put them out and say connect objects and delete. Delete the null, delete the UVW tag, delete this one as well. Do the same for the bottom. Connect objects and delete. Call this bottom and call this top. And we'll make copies. Wrong. Like this. So we have a backup. Now, to shatter the top half, we need some sort of a plugin. Now, the plugin I'm using is called Explode. It costs, I think, like 12 or 13 euro. I'm not sure. I bought it some time ago. I did use earlier a plugin called Destruction, but when Cinema 4D version 13 came out, it didn't work with that, so I needed to use something else, and I don't really like how another plugin called Xbreaker, I don't like basically the kind of shapes of shards it creates, so I bought the Explode plugin. Anyway, so we will take the top, we will go into plugins and explode. Now, first we will create larger shards, so let's say perhaps just 100. We'll see later what it looks like. We say add and scatter. Let's see. Pieces. I think this is okay. We just need to make sure there are no huge holes. Sometimes it makes weird glitches. There are some holes, but they're tiny, and we won't probably even notice they're there when the animation happens. So let's throw away the explode trash, just in case. Explode trash basically keeps our original object in case you don't like the way it shattered it, so it's sort of a backup, but I'm pretty happy with this, so we'll throw that away. And now we will break it up some more at the point where the bullet enters and exits. So let's see, I just need to make sure which way is the front way. Oh yeah, so the bullet will fly this way. So this is one side. We will take these few polygons here around the entry point. I think that should be enough. Maybe this one as well. Not this one. And check that. Let's find them and move them up. Move them up, maybe move them out of the null object and group them. And let's go to the other side. Again, select a few shards in here. We don't need to break these two, they're probably small enough. So we will take these as well, put them in the other null object, or maybe put them in a new one. Now, what we need to do is take, and piece by piece, we will basically break it into shards. So let's say perhaps 12. The numbers aren't always exact. It usually breaks up into less shards than you specify for some reason. And every time before you use the plugin again, you need to say clear, so that the previous saved way of breaking up is thrown away. Anyway, say add, scatter, and let's see. Yeah, this is fine. So let's take these, put them into the original. Take another one, move it out, and try again. Clear, add, scatter. I like this as well. Move them here. Throw this away. What else? This one. Clear, add, scatter. Yeah, it's fine. Take these, put them here. Delete this. Another one. Take it out. Clear, add, scatter. It's surprisingly working pretty well today. Usually it does weirder things. Anyway. And the last one. Clear, add, scatter. And that is pretty much it for this side. So let's move them here. Throw this away, go to the other side. Now, let's take this. Probably we'll break it up into less because this one is small, so clear, add, scatter. Yeah, this is pieces to this way. Another one. 12. Here add scatter. That's fine. Move it here. As you can see, each time I break a new shard, it divides them into a different number, so the number is not really accurate. If you put a bigger number, it creates more shards. If you put in a lower number, it creates less shards, but it's not an accurate number. It's a relative is perhaps too grandiose to call this mix up, but whatever. Let's take this one. Here add scatter. Let's see. Yeah, for example, now it didn't break it at all for some reason. I don't know why it does this. It just does. Oh, it broke this. Broke it into two parts. So let's take this, put it there, and break this one some more. Clear, add scatter. Yeah, this is nice. Move it into pieces. Delete these three things. And the last one. Clear, add scatter. We probably need a little bit more pieces in here. So let's say 14. Clear, add scatter. Yeah, this is enough. So let's take these, move them here, and we are done. This is our broken glass. We have basically a higher number of shards where the bullet enters and exits. Maybe we might want to break these big ones at the top some more, but no, this is fine. This is fine. If you look at some reference footage on YouTube and such, you will see that at the point where the bullet enters and exits, there are more shards, and if it flies through the glass at a lower point, at the top the shards are usually pretty big, so I think this is fine. Now let's call this top and save this. Call this glass 01. And now we will create our scene. So let's take this, copy this, close, don't save, paste it. It's tiny. Now we will go into the desktop, open the bullet. Where's the bullet? Here's the bullet. Take the bullet, copy it, close it, don't save, paste it here. Round numbers, people, round numbers. Kittens will die. Now we need to create a backdrop for our scene. We will basically create just a plane that is curved up and provides background at the same time, and basically is curved, so it's kind of seamless. And there are multiple ways we can do this. The first one is we create a plane, move it back a little bit, add a bend object. Let's see which way it bends. That is wrong. Let's rotate it so it bends the right way. Let's see. Strength. Yeah, that is good. Let's make it smaller, perhaps 100 by 100 by whatever this is, 400 to be safe. Is this enough? Let's make it a little bit smaller, 50. Let's see. Maybe a little shorter as well. Yeah, this is okay. Now let's take this, move it back, put it into the plane object, and now we just bend it, and we bend it by 90 degrees. So this is one way to do this. Also, if you just take this and move it in here, it will basically roll like this using the whatever it is called, enable axis modification. Okay, if you use the axis modification tool, it will roll through the bent object like this. So we need some more segments. We need just 1 segment in the width, and we need way more in the height. Perhaps even like 100, just to be safe. So that is one way to do this. Let's create another hidden null object. Put it at the bottom. Put the plane there. Now another way to do this is we create a spline. Again, as I said, I don't really like the splines in Cinema 4D, but whatever. No. Snapping. We want enable snapping. Want to enable snapping. We want 2.5. I'm not sure. Yeah, 2.5. So let's select the Bezier, and we will create a Bezier like this. Pressing Shift helps. Wrong. No. Don't want this. Like this. And no, I didn't want to do that. Huh. How do I connect now to the last one? Sorry, gotta do it again. No. Wrong tool. So let's do this again. Now, like this. No, I pressed the spacebar again. I'm used to doing this in Illustrator. I'm sorry. I'm used to using the spacebar to move around, which is wrong. In Cinema 4D, press the Option key, as you know, of course. Why is it not snapping anymore? I want snapping. Snapping. Come on, people. Snap. I'm so sorry for this, people. Do this again one last time. And let's finish this off. Oh. Yeah, it doesn't need to be perfectly straight. Anyway, let's take this and put it in a extrude NURBS. We will not move it in Z direction, but in the X direction. So perhaps like 500 and move it down. So this is another way to do this. It's a little bit messy, it's too big, and yeah, it's too big, but we could fix that by perhaps just scaling it down and moving it down here. Where's the glass? Where's our glass? Oh, here. So, and increase the movement, of course. 500. Yeah, this is better. And then there is a third way to do this, which is we create a cube, and we need to, yeah, I think the height is enough, so we can already drop it to the floor. Perhaps, make it wider, this is wide, so like 500 maybe, 300 deep, maybe 400 just to be safe. And also let's make it a little bit taller again and drop it to the floor. And we will use fillet. We need way more subdivisions, perhaps like 64. Yeah, that should be fine. 50. Let's go look inside if that's enough. Maybe like 75. Yeah, that's fine. And now we will basically delete all the sides except the ones we need. So we will make it editable. We will select the rectangular selection tool, go into polygon mode, uncheck only select visible elements. Yes, this side, delete those, and delete the ones on the side and the ones on the top. So basically we have this, and if it wasn't perhaps wide enough, we could of course make it wider, and if we need to make these sides a little longer or taller, we can move them like this, right? And this one as well, of course, like this. But I think this is pretty much fine. Maybe only make it a little wider, the whole thing, of course. So like 150%, that should be fine. Now let's just disable snapping and move the pivot point to 0. So that is our scene. So let's call this whatever, backdrop, background backdrop. That's better. So that's our modeling, and I will see you in animation.